It's just a case of doing things in reverse order, but we'll go through it anyway. So the first thing is to take the regulator itself and put it back in the car, remembering of course to connect the power. Okay, so I've got the motor in, just got to do it with these 4 torque screws, line this up down here, and obviously we've got to fix the top mounting as well. And of course we have remembered to connect the power. The regulator's now in, the 4 bolts here, the bolt here and the bolt down the bottom, and again we're just going to test it to make sure everything's alright before we seal it up. Here we go. And then down again. Looking good. So the next thing to do is to take the window here, slide it in through the outside down here and attach it to the regulator. Actually I'll just move that up a bit and stop it so we can see where it actually attaches. There we are. Now don't force it. I've gently lowered it down the window and put it onto here. Don't, whatever you do, force it. We don't want to break the window at this stage. So we're now just going to put the bolt back in it, and again don't over tighten this bolt, you don't want to crack the window. And there is the bolt attached. The next thing now is to put this outer trim back, just sliding it down in here gently until these holes here line up, because they're going to fix this piece in place with the Phillips screws behind. Just before you fix this trim, make sure the window is right down, either manually or you can do it now obviously electrically. Now you might find this a bit tricky. You've just got to wiggle it about a bit until you can fit it in. Don't force it. Notice I've got my little bit of masking tape here to stop problems with the trim. Now the next thing is to do is to put the rubber back and also fix the screws, and you can see that these line up now. Okay, here's a tip. While you're trying to get this piece in here and this, it's a good idea just temporarily to unslip the glass so that it is more easy to get this piece in. Okay, once the glass is in, one final test. Glass going up and down, fine. And so the next thing is to put the trim back on here, and that's just a question of pushing it into place. And there we are, the plastic trim is back in place, just a question of pushing it into place. And now the next thing is to restore the inner liner, making sure of course that the cables here are accessible and poking through the door handle. There we are. It's just a case of going around and making sure that it's roughly in place. The handle's coming through here and the two pieces of wire coming through here. Sometimes when you take the door off, this little clip here gets left behind, so what we need to do is remove it. That came off very easily, but you might need to pinch that and then replace it in the proper place here. It goes into this part here, it just slides in like that, so it's ready for when we put the door back on. Next thing is to fit the door itself. Here is the door, reconnecting the courtesy light at the bottom and poking through the window switch into the hole here, not forgetting the piece of gunky stuff round the door switch that goes into the side of the door. Our courtesy light is actually on, switch is coming through there, I can get it with my fingers. Next thing is just to poke the handle through. The handle's through. Now the next thing is to line up the door here. The way to line it up is to go through the locking mechanism, and we just rest it on the top here, and it really is just a question of going along and hitting it with your fist. Don't use any tools. And here we go. It's just a question of going along all of those until they're all secure. Then the next thing is to go along and make sure all these rivets are in here. Plastic plugs, not rivets really, just making sure they're in, and you just give them a bang with your hand like this and you'll feel them actually pop into place. Just go around and do the rest of the door. Is just to reconnect the switch, making sure you've got the solid arrow up, or if you want a bit of fun you can obviously put it the reverse way around. And almost finally just pop the screw back in the door and the blanking plug. There we are, door working. And a final test. Open window. Close window. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you're able to repair and mend your own windows. There we are, all put back together, and now we can do the trick, which is very useful in hot weather. With this particular model we can unlock it and open all the windows at the same time, which gets rid of all the heat, so it all appears to be working. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you again sometime. Bye.